Never mind. You can marry a goy. So I told her, wow, Grandma, that's so open-minded of you. She's like, yeah, look at your mother. Your mother married a goy. Everything turned out okay. And people say, Noam, we can't really pronounce it, so I say you can call me Chomsky, but if it's easier for you. One of the reasons I love coming to London is because you guys have my shoe size. I wear a size 9 in England. In Israel, it's a size giant. All my friends at home, literally in Israel, are this tall. So when I make dates with my friends, I ask that we sit down somewhere, because if we're walking, I can't hear anything they're saying down here. I'm Jewish, I'm mixed actually. My father is a Romanian Jew. When I went to Romania to look for my roots, I found out I'm a well-dressed gypsy. And my mother actually, she was born in Iran, she's an Iranian Jew. She has 8 brothers and sisters. We call them the Muslim Brotherhood. And my household is really like the two cultures together. And on top of that, my parents are these open-minded liberals, which is really hard these days in Israel. So I grew up, I care about the political causes, but I'm 31 and I'm single, so I go to demonstrations mainly to look for a date. And when I go to demonstrations, the problem is that the only people who actually look like they've taken a shower is the police officers. And then I'm stuck, like, am I I need to have sex. Anyway. And on top of that, my family, my parents, when I was 7 years old, in the heat of the Oslo agreements, they moved to a beautiful community in Israel, midway between Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, a beautiful hill called the Oasis of Peace. It's in Hebrew, Neve Shalom, in Arabic, Wahat al-Salam. It's the only place where Ashkenazi Jews and Ashkenazi Arabs live together by choice. And me, I'm the only Arab-looking human being there. When I was in 2nd grade, I learned Arabic so well, and Sarah Netanyahu and Hillary Clinton, they came to our mixed school. They came and we were singing a song for peace in Hebrew, and Sarah Netanyahu, she walked by me and she looked at me and she told me, your Hebrew is so articulate. And then I realized that everyone is just assuming I'm Arab. And after I finished 2nd grade, my Arabic was so good that the principal came to my dad and he told him, Yehezkel, we are moving your daughter all the way to 4th grade immediately. And my dad was like, wow, I always knew that my daughter, she's so smart. He's like, smart, yes, too tall, she steps on the kids. We have to move. And the first Shabbat, actually, when we moved to the Oasis of Peace, the first Shabbat, my Persian grandmother, we Mizrahi Jews, we have a lot of food and warmness, and so my grandmother comes with all the pots and pans. I was born in a pot of rice. Persians are... And my grandmother couldn't understand that my mom intentionally moved to live with Arabs. So she walks into the house and slowly, and I'm like, Grandma, what's going on? She's like, close the door, there is Arabs outside. Never mind. You can marry a goy. So I told her, wow, Grandma, that's so open-minded of you. She's like, yeah, look at your mother. Your mother married a goy. Everything turned out okay. It's like, Grandma, Dad is not a goy, he's just Ashkenazi. He's like, a real Jew is a Jew who comes from Iran, Iraq. Your father looks like Jesus. So I decided I'm going to show my mom, my grandma, what is Tinder. So I'm like, Grandma, Tinder, you know Tinder? I don't know Tinder, I don't know. So we guys know what Tinder is, right? It's a dating app. We like someone, we swipe them right. We don't like someone, we swipe them left. And I have too many cousins, so when I open my Tinder to show my grandma my Tinder, 2 cousins in a row on my screen. Now the first cousin is like bald, most of his hair refugee to his back like a good Jew. And so I swiped him left, but my second cousin, Jonathan, studies architecture in Berlin. He's tall, he has lots of hair on his head, which is rare these days. So I swiped him right and he liked me back, which is disgusting. Like, you like your cousin on Tinder? He's like, yeah, you like me too, that's why we're here chatting. My grandma looks at this whole thing and she's like, if we were in Iran, you would have married your cousin a long time ago. So up until a year ago, I was in charge of a UN peace-building program. I had a real job, I had money in my bank account. A year ago, I started feeling choked in my throat. I started feeling like I'm not influencing anyone. I started feeling, I was fired, basically. And so I started doing comedy to try and influence the hearts and minds of people. And one of the places that comedy has brought me is to be the first Jewish performer in a Palestinian comedy festival. When the comedian introduced me, he introduced me as the first Jewish comedian to be in this festival. And there were like two guys who were sitting in the front row and they were like looking at me like, what is this Jew gonna tell us, you know? So I walk on stage and I'm thinking, how am I gonna break the ice? Like, what? It's a crowd of 300 Palestinians. So I walk in on stage and I look at him and I tell him, Habibi, relax. I'm only here for 7 minutes, not 70 years. Thank you guys, thank you so much.